YouTube? Joseph Crickmore here, and we are finally back with episode 11 of Smartphone Season 1. I originally had planned to finish the whole season when I recorded episodes 9 and 10, but as I was editing those and getting those uploaded so I wouldn't have to remember for 4 episodes what I would write for the description, I was doing all the editing for all of that, and then suddenly on my other screen I got a notification for a certain Markiplier stream. If you people were there a couple days ago, him and Ethan were live talking about Unis Honest. And as someone who missed out on all of those uploads and only heard about them in passing, especially nowadays, I kind of wanted to check in on Mark and Ethan to see what that stream was about. And I ended up being live with them for the whole 2 hours. So unfortunately, I didn't get around to finishing the season when I wanted to. But that was a welcome interruption. I will take that because when anything comes up with Markiplier Unis Honest related, you don't know if it's going to get deleted afterwards. That was the whole point of those videos they made. So with all that being said, I had to delay what I was going to do. So here we are finally with episode 11. I'm still going to make 12 a separate video because I've come this far. There's no reason to combine episodes now. And I've seen the other guys on the channel combine episodes into one video, and I don't want to always fall back on that. I would love to have a series on my channel that has just 1 episode of video, and that's what we're going to do. Now, with all of that out of the way, we can finally get to this episode. Touya finally found something with these ruins that we spent so many episodes getting to. Something important, something specific, something that changes the very landscape of the series forever. It is the biggest plot twist, I think, in any isekai ever. Now, granted, there are plenty of isekais I have not watched before, but I will definitely still claim that the plot twist in these final 2 episodes is top 5 for isekai plot twists. You can't argue with me on that. Nobody saw this coming. Nobody saw this coming. Yes, we got one tiny bit of foreshadowing way back at like episode 4. But nobody knew at the time if that was like a one-time thing or if that was going to be something big. It's kind of a big deal. So we're going to finally get to these episodes. Things are going to finally come to a head. Some revelations, some advances romantically will finally happen. And I get to finally be like, yes, finally. And then the problem will shift from jealous girls to maybe overbearing fiancés. See, but that's a trope I can deal with because at the end of the day, they do still love Touya. Getting to that point is the tricky, annoying part. So with all that being said, the next time you see me will be that post-episode discussion. And... alrighty, post-episode discussion time. And wow, that episode had a lot of things I didn't remember being in this episode because of what happens in the next episode that would combine in terms of the overall landscape of the story. But okay, so it's technically the next episode that has the big plot twist I'm talking about, but this episode has a lot of status quo changes. We now have Babylon, these floating islands, Francesca's now a thing, and finally some good romantic character development. Some good relationship building. Lots of things went down in this episode. I don't think I want to recap everything I talked about because I ended up going for way longer than I thought I would on all my different conversations and discussions about the episode itself, and the fact that there are certain character tropes that I just refuse to accept. I hate them. I don't know if people actually find them funny or not. I don't. Even if it's not played up for laughs, the trope itself is so annoying to me. Because rarely do you ever encounter people like that in real life when it comes to relationships or starting a relationship. Even from my experience, it's not as subtle as fiction makes it out to be. I get it. Drama, woohoo, storytelling. I don't like that brand of storytelling. Is that fair? There's all, like I said in the video itself, Smartphone is on the border for me. It's borderline between I don't want to see this series again, or it's okay, there are things I like about it that are keeping me interested. And trust me, this is definitely more obvious than other shows that I have seen in my life, because as long as there are good elements that I find interesting, I will keep going. But, I don't know. It's all very interesting. Definitely the big thing I will point out, though, to abridge all of my conversations down into a smaller chunk, is I gotta applaud 2 characters in this episode. Technically 3. I cannot believe I'm saying this after I gave her flack in previous episodes, but thank you, Lean. Everyone applaud Lean for being the sensible one, the logical one, the one who wasn't even in love with Touya at the time, because she kind of does fall for him eventually. I kind of feel like Season 2 made that one a little obvious. But you got to applaud her for being logical and thinking, Linz, stop yelling and accusing Touya of these things when you yourself have not yet confirmed your own feelings. Give him a pass. Because from the perspective of Linz, she feels cheated out of Touya and stuff and situations, but like she needs to remember, up until that point, she never made it obvious with Touya that she had feelings. She has no right to stand there and say those things when she couldn't admit her own feelings. 2, you got to applaud Yumina for her character since she moved in with Touya way back when. That conversation, as well as the development here, is crucial in terms of getting the rest of the girls on board with marrying Touya and him having a happy life, because, as Yumina put it, if he knew that only picking one of us would leave the others heartbroken, I think he would choose to be alone and grow old, and she didn't want to push Touya to that extreme. And she literally tells them, help me make Touya the happiest man on Earth, on this planet, in the world. The happiest man in the world. And they still couldn't come to a decision at the time. I say all of that to applaud Linz. She thought about it for so long, and Francesca kissing Touya for the sake of the genetic material to affirm that he is the master of the garden pushed Linz over the edge. And she finally admitted she loved Touya and kissed him. Wonderful. That's called character development. Amazing. I'm not going to get into any of the other conversations I had during the episode because there was actually a lot more. So please, if you haven't already, watch the full video. You'll be surprised with everything I've talked about. So with all that being said, thank you all so much for watching. Hope you liked it. Hit the like button, subscribe, share the video with a friend. Make sure you join the Patreon. Go over there. Check out the stuff that's over there while you're over there. It may surprise you what's there, and please enjoy yourself. And of course, keep your notifications on, because as always, I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.